Dahoodpostman, city, hood, click. Let's go.
About humanity, putting truth in these lines, while they busy feeding lies. When you got that tunnel vision, gotta open up your eyes. Wake up and go to sleep. Man, I'm praying all times. And to my guys, ain't no other side. This for my brothers, I'ma pray we all shine. Lock the door. Go ahead, lock the door. Lock the door. Go ahead, lock the door. Yeah, you already know.
Depending on the lessons, some people eat, some people learn. But the game is gonna send you big.
Lock the door. Shout out to the Mailroom Nation and the Mailroom Goons. I am Professor Millie Mail, the Hood Postman. Be sure to click that notification bell, like, subscribe, and share. Drop a comment down below. So when the dope content hit, it'll feel like it's the first and the 15th. Welcome to the Mailroom. When you come in, take a look at your mind, examine what's in your heart. You can go anywhere in the world to get a couple of lies, but you come right here to get the truth. Before they had handguns, they had hand guys. Man up. Get on the bus. And let me take you to school. You hear that horn, man? Because I am the bus driver. We got my guy in today. Baby Nose, what's good? How's things going?
Oh, it's going well, man. Salute. Thanks for having me, man. Glad to be back. It's been a while.
It is an honor and a pleasure to be sharing time and space with you. Even though, man, we having some rainy weather out here, man, but we're here for it, bro.
Absolutely.
Before we started, man, I want to send my condolences out to Lil Ronnie, the loss of Lil Ronnie and his daughter in Texas. Man, these senseless murders and killings that happen in our community should not be happening at this day and time. And I want y'all to understand something. In today's gang culture, in the 70s and 80s, you would see 150 dudes stand on the block. Today, you see 5 and 10 dudes holding up these communities. I don't know why they holding it up, but for the most part, most people are not gang bangers. They may be gang members, and they're functioning as a social club or either as a family. A lot of gangs are talking about family now, but there's a select few that's still running around popping off. But we're not here for that today. We come here to talk to Baby Nose. We're gonna talk about the PBG and the pillars, man. The pillars. The big homies. Shout out to Baby. Baby Nose, man, just for a little background purpose, where did you grow up? And I already know, but the audience don't know.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You know, like I said, moms now, they started off on the east side in the 20s, and then we migrated over to West LA. So I grew up in West LA, late 70s, early 80s is when my family migrated from that east over there to the west. Yeah.
And how did you go ahead? I don't mean to interrupt.
Oh, no, get in, brother. Let's go.
I was going to ask you, how did you get the name Baby Bentnose? Because there's a big Bentnose.
Okay.
There's a baby Bentnose.
Well, right. And see, and I'm glad that's why I wanted to start this off and say why I'm a midget standing on the giant's shoulders. Because these guys was pillars. And I watched how they was doing it. And what I loved about Bentnose, let me say this, Mel, that was epic, man, because Bentnose, he doesn't give you too much. He give you a piece. And what I learned, right. And what I learned about Bentnose, I had to earn this. This came with a lot of sacrifices and toughness. And he knew that I was up for it because the testament, I saw what Nose and Lil Insane was doing, because my building was 2049. And like I said, 84 is when everything changed for my generation. Like I said, I was 14 and 13. The generation already that was banging, LBGing and PBG, those were the homies that was, but we wasn't, because we was in the sports, like I said. So to jump it back to how I got the name, once they shut down all the basketball programs in 84, that's when my crew stepped outside with the crack gang. And Nose and Lil Insane already had the spot jumping. Lil Loke stayed across the street. Nose stayed in the rabbit trap. So I was right, little kid watching the clientele going to the spot. So my thing was feed the homies, because they work in the spot. So I go get McDonald's, because that's when the Olympics was happening. And when the U.S. win, you won. So I used to go get all the McDonald's and bring them to the spot to the homies and tell them, crash this, that, and other. So I was already intuitive what Nose and them was doing. But now I knew Nose was a little bit more tougher, because Nose used to toughen us up. Now, what I tell dudes about Nose, bullying was an art form, because you got to get tested. And if you fall a weakness upon the shows, and guys want to see what you built for this. So when I used to bring the food, Lil Insane used to let me in the spot, and I used to play with with his rock robber Sheba. So Nose was like, get him out of here, man, he a kid, blah, blah, blah. So I used to go on, moping. But Lil Loke was basically seeing me run with my little partners that was Loke boys. So a long story short, Lil Loke, Lil Insane and Nose told us to cut out the Loke boy thing, and told us we was all from PBG. Play, y'all start representing the hood. But now the thing was, my little crew, which was Termite, Shoot 'em Up, Lil Ed, and a host of others, Lil Insane said, grab him and make him Baby Nose. Nose was like, nah. So Lil Sleep and all my other homies, Baby Chew, all our little crew, Lil Q Ball, we was Pope, we was all just little kids, man, and we just formed our little crew, man. But Nose, I got the name because Lil Insane made Nose like, man, you get him, you're gonna get all his little partners. And that's for sure how I got the name. And it came with it, and really, Mel, it came with feeding him. I used to bring Nose food, him and my homegirl, rest in peace, Lynette, who was Mrs. Bentnose. Shout out to her, man. That's the homegirl. She took me under the wing, treated me like a little brother. When I used to be up under Nose and Lynette, I was like the little baby homie. So I got spoiled, man, like a little baby, man. But to land right there, but that's how I got the name, man. And I just ran from it from there.
So you was around the Chuck Wagons, let's see, Don Juan, Jesse James. Did you meet all that? And I'm talking about Big Low, the Big Low, Insane.
Well, Insane, this is my see, nobody never asked me my Insane story. I saw Insane twice in my lifetime. Number one, right, in 81, 82, 83, we stayed on Corning Street, and I played football for Inglewood. The homies Jesse, Fat Rat, and the homie Mel, they used to be making a lot of noise in the drumming and pop locking in the back. And my mom them hated them, the homies, because they used to get down, do their thing, and keep up a lot of noise. The dope spot was next door to my building, my spot, and that was Lil Keith, the homie, OG homie LaSalle. He was Jamaican, and he had the hood popping. Now, this was the Glass House. This is like 82, 83. We was all going to pasture. We was playing in the back, and Big Insane came walking through the alley, hat flipped up, looked like he was basically fresh out. We didn't know at the time, but as the story goes, yeah, Big Loke was getting up out of YA. And he saw that we was athlete. He grabbed the football and told me to go long and just threw me a pass on one recollection. The second one is when the schoolyards came up to pasture, and they rushed the homies, Gremlin and all the homies. We was scared as death. I wasn't banging from the hood. I was a baby boy tucking my little rag. So I was kind of like, man, because Popeye and Paige and Stupid, and man, them dudes was tough, man. And they used to try to come get at the homies. So Big Insane and Big Scooby came up to the school one day with big overalls, golf hats on, And that's the first time I ever looked at a God, homie, and looked at Big Scooby and Insane in their eyes. And they walked us. We walked behind them. The whole school. We walked to Thrifty's to get ice cream, and we walked through the hood because like I said, my building was next to the glass house where all the homies left out. Now, to land the plane with this, I tell dudes, man, you don't have to. You can learn your homies through other people, because when I got to the pen, this is why I say standing on the midget standing on the shoulders of giants, because dudes took me in because of Big Insane and Scooby. Meaning, pause. Watch this, Mel. I hit the pen in 1991. I was 20 years old, man. Fresh out of YA, still hard-headed gangbanger. I got up to Solano's, the foe. Now, I'm in here for stealing $250,000 of diamonds. First things dudes like, hey, homie, you know your homie Insane? You come here. You come with us. So when Big Insane, and that's the homie Big Maverick from 11-8 and the homie Boogie from 7-4 Hoover, because I was cellies with Big G from 107. Must have lost Mel, man. I'll wait. Thank you all for taking time to listen to my story, man. Appreciate for Mel for having me. I'll wait till the homie get back.
Sorry about that, Nose. I'm back.
Hey, no thing. But to pick it back up, Mel, because this is important and key. Because I was a nobody, homie. I was a youngster. I hit the pen in 1991. Now, just because Maverick from 11-8 and Boogie from 7-4, they left Folsom and they came to Solano, and they the ones told me how powerful my homie Big Insane was. And they saw the potential in me because I used to listen. I didn't know nothing, homie. I got up on the Roscoe from Front Street Watch, Green from PJ, them the homies, cuz them dudes schooled me, homie. Bogart from Schoolyard, they made me and him stop all our differences, and we became road dogs. And I met up with Bogart down the line, man. Shout out to Bogart, man. That's my dog. And saying that to say, Mel, so when Insane died, I was in the pen. And what happened was they came to me like, man, y'all let Insane die? I said, brother, I don't know nothing. I've been here with y'all. So this is when I understood how powerful Insane was to the PDLs. Bloods was coming up to me. Hey, homie, we send our, the homies from Peachstone, Black Peachstone. Hey, homie, we send our condolences. I don't know nothing. I'm just walking. Coco from Bounty Hunter, Green Eyes from Bounty Hunter. Them dudes knew Big Insane from Folsom. Now, I'm only throwing these names out here because I had interaction with these dudes. And like I tell dudes, you don't have to lie to kick it. And one thing that I will never do is get on here to lie to be something that I'm not, because you know as well as I know, man, we come from your name, your word is all you got. And that's why I say, homie, right, man. And that's why I wanted to get these dudes' names and so they can tell their stories, because I was a midget on their shoulders and I saw how great these dudes was. And let me give you this about Nose. When I got out of YA in 1991, Bentnose grabbed me and took, because my mama was staying in North Hollywood. That's when Nose, that's where the muscle was at. And I let Nose tell that, you know, watch this. So I was under my big homie, but he saw that I was my own man. And he said, nah, baby Nose, you know, I cut me loose and I went back towards the hood to get things shaking. But what I learned about being up under Nose, why he was so smart. He was up under the big homie, the Scarecrow. And anybody know who the Scarecrow is? That's the big homie, No Brain. That's Big Kevin Golf. And I remember how instrumental Golf was in '86 when he took the crew, because things got hot on Corny because of, you know, we got into it with another set. And unfortunately, some things happened on Corny and, you know, A life was lost in.
Corny was C Street. That was C Street. That was headquarters.
That's C Street. That's headquarters, right? And I'm right there, man. 2049, man. Watch this. So when Brain took the crew up to Hollywood, you know what I'm saying, they was moving and shaking up there, and I didn't know how powerful Brain was because of you know the until I got into the pen and learned about, you know, my homie Regimen up under Doc Holliday and how because that way, and that's how we got to learn Lamar, rest in peace, and Junior from Harlem, rest in peace. Those are the holidays because my homegirl Cece. Yeah, them the homies. Yeah. So, and I was under Junior and Lamar in the pen. So them the dogs, and they got it. They got it cracking over there with the gears, man. So we got a enriched history of a lot of hustlers and players that come up off that side, and that's why my homie Scott Dog, Big Lucky, them the Lokes, man, Lil Smiley from Marvin, them dudes was way ahead of their time. And they gonna be instrumental with getting their information out there because I already let them know, man. I gotta put y'all. Man, y'all pillars, man. And what I learned, and see, let me say this, man. What I tell the homies, man, that I know we come from a days where we don't want to talk, we don't say much, and I get that. But what I tell dudes, it's okay to talk about it because we survived, homie. Ain't nothing telling, man. This is why it's great. I damn near was in tears when I saw Bentnose, man, because Nose, they don't know how smart Nose was, man. Nose really did a lot for me, homie. Nose gave me keys to cocaine when man, let me say this, homie. And I'm trying to glorify this life. What I'm getting at is a big homie that made sure that my crew, I was straight, and he knew that I was gonna make sure the hood was straight. That's on Gangsters. And a lot of these youngsters don't be knowing these stories, homie, that these dudes was pillars and why you don't have to go through the madness and go through what a lot of us go through because our reputation and our name is solidified where a dude will be like, hey, you know your homie such and such, can you come here? Because I kept a good rapport. Man, we went through YA fighting, man. We went through the county jail fighting. My first endorsement with county jail was 1991. And we talking about when that thing was at a hiatus. But by me being down, because think about it, man. I come from the days when it was honorable to be called a little homie. That was honorable. Say little homie, say little homie. Because again, I was up under old heads that was sitting me down and teaching me about things. And I was listening. So a lot of people don't understand that I was educating myself on top of cripping and doing what I had to do.
You know, yes, sir. A lot of people don't know how important that education that you got to help kind of navigate your walk and your path, because without it,
amen,
you may not have made it to where you are today. You need it. You're saying you're just a midget standing on giant shoulders, right? And,
yes, sir.
And right now you're a testimony to that moment because you're talking about Jesse James, Don Juan, Big Lope. You're talking about Bentnose and No Brain. What is it? No Brain?
No Brain. Big Lucky.
And Scott Dog and all the rest of them and Luck and all these guys, you know what I mean? And shout out to Poker as well.
Yes, sir. Salute.
Those guys, they meant what they stood for. You know what I mean? They was, you know, they was a standard bearer. I mean, every section had standard bearers for what this thing we call Keywayism or Keyway life or Crip life. Yeah. However you want to explain it. And man, but I'm gonna tell you, Bentnose told me you gotta tell me about the Booger Wolf spot.
Okay. Now look, that building was the building where again it was families from Watts, Compton. That's why I told you where Kurt and the homie from Ducky stayed. And we had this lady named PBG Mom. She was up out of East St. Louis. Diamond, Lil Sleep, and Bam, because we all used to hang out right there. It was nothing but big booty girls, and a lot of them girls had daughters. So you lay up with one of the Booger Wolves, man, they gonna cook clean, and you know we running in and about their houses, man. We was kids, man. The girls was sucking us up.
Let me get the correct language. It was called the Booger Wolf house or the Booger Wolf spot?
The Booger Wolf mansion.
The Booger Wolf mansion. There you go.
Right. And Mel, that building was, like I said, the Carters, because it was a lot of people coming from, like I said, Watts, Compton, and migrated. And my homies Doc Rock and Lil Doc Rock, they family was from my homie Ounce. They was from up out of New Jersey. So they pops was up in there, and I was hanging out with them. They became instrumental from being from the hood, country crip. They was all from St. Louis, because all of us, like I said, man, we was local boys. We wasn't PBGs. We didn't want to be from that stuff, man. We was just doing our own thing. But they saw that we was getting real big, and Bentnose and Lil Insane was like, hey, y'all cut this shit out, and told the homie Bam to kind of be instrumental in us. And I land with this, man. The reason why I say that they teachings was important, because in the Booger Wolf Mansion, this is when we used to, the homies used to, like, when to test us, we used to put on the boxing gloves and we boxed. Pop, pop, pop. They didn't like the 3-on-1s and jumping it. So we did it a smart way. And I knew that was instrumental of Nose having that training of being up under Brain. Because what I learned about No Brain, when he picked me up in the Cadillac one time, he had a great Cadillac. He was with my homegirl Puppy. He picked me up and he said, man, you know what a gangster is? I said, no. He said, a gangster is smart and intelligent. That's all he ever said. And dropped me off in the hood. And I remember just a gym like that. And what I learned about my homie Golf, he was real instrumental with Tone Loc career, and he was a pillar in that movement, man. And he really taught us some smarts. And like I said, these are just guys that just put some smarts behind some illegal activities, man. That's all it was.
Shout out to my guy, man, my guy, the official, Young Puppy Loc, a.k.a. Young Talk Dog. What's good with your champ? That's my guy right there.
Yes, sir.
He from Marvin, man. He that's your loved one. That's your kinfolk.
Okay, that's what's up. Salute, homie. Absolutely. I got the MGC on my back. Like I said, we go back when it was just one set, man, because the Marvins and the yes, sir.
No, I was gonna ask you before you get into the Marvins and the PBGs. How many Booger Wolves was in the Booger Wolf Mansion? How many?
I think that building had like 20 units, man. I want 10. It was maybe 10 at the bottom, 10 at the top. And it was just like a mansion, man. And we just ran up in that joint like the Carters, man. And like I said, we used to be on top of it.
In every little apartment in there was a Booger Wolf. There was no
not all. It was just regular families just living, but most of their daughters and like they aunties, they was like Booger Wolves, man, just laid up. We talking 85, 86, when food stamps was food stamps, and we so yeah, and like I said, it was a migration. They was from Compton, Watts. And like my folks, they was from New Jersey, Ounce and them family. So St. Louis, it was a whole, man, just a pack. And they was all, like I said, girls that was thick, man. Booger Wolves, man, laid up, eating biscuits and pancakes and feeding us in the neighborhood.
They got gravy on them biscuits, huh?
Absolutely, man. And it was respect because they became instrumental, man, that building.
Okay, talk to me the relationship between the PBG, the Marvins, and the Banfields and the By Yourself Hustlers.
Okay, well, like I said, back in the days, we was all one because of, you had fractions with the schoolyards and the Mansfield. They used to be cool until that with Baby Boy and all that, Chucky. But because Kelly Cole, a lot of people don't even know about Kelly Cole. Kelly Cole was crazy. He rested in peace. See, we called him Kelly Cole, but he was known as Baby Boy from Schoolyard. And Kelly used to be from Mansfield, so he was kind of like in the middle. But Kelly was more like a player type dude. But Kelly Cole was instrumental with jumping Schoolyard from the Mansfield, so that kind of split. And then a lot of people don't know. And shout out to Mingo from Schoolyard, man. But when Dion Best, the story on the west side, when Best hit the Mingo in the eye with the shovel. Yeah, Vest hit the homie Mingo in the eye with the shovel, and that's what kind of split them. So we got these type of stories, man. And then and I'll say this respectfully, E-Money them, Eric Marshall them took off, man. They Sammy Joe and all them
I was in
boys.
the feds. I was in the Fed with Eric Marshall and Joe Curry, Benji Kabenji.
General, hey, I'll say, and just to jump a bit, this is once again standing on the shoulders of giants. I remember in '91, E-Money came through there. We was in the county, and I was like, "Money, man. I think I just had a little dope case." But he said, "Man, the feds is finna come get me." And that's when they came and got me. But I used to talk to me, man. He left me a lot of store. Eric Marshall,
Also
man. He used
Big D. Also Big D too.
Big D, another pillar. And that's Nose partner. So Nose know that story with him and D. Big D from Mansfield. Yes, sir. But those guys, like I said, man, we was family, man, because they took on the schoolyards and along with us. And then, you know, the Gears, along with the Marvins, all that just started happening. But we was all folks because we all went to Marvin Elementary, man, and things of that nature. So when my generation stepped outside, you know, we knew Devil from Gear and Top and all that. We knew them from going to Marvin Elementary. You know what I'm saying? Both
you know, not to cut you off again, but we can't live out the graveyards neither. They part
not at all. No, absolutely.
West LA.
Absolutely. Now graveyards, that was Nut and the homie C Black C Steel Bill from Graveyard. Those were they family, they had blood ties to Big Tony T and Big Insane. Some of the homies from Graveyard, because Big Lope and them stayed out there. So they was real instrumental, man. And Ken Dawg from Graveyard. I know a lot of homies from the yard because they took on, again, the war with the show lines and things of that nature. So, again, we was fractionizing, but we had the potential. And I just think that, you know, behind us being so small in that area, you know, you got three gangs going to get each other, and it just was too much for West LA. And so, I'm glad that I was instrumental and my family was instrumental with putting that shit to a dead when we came together with a truce in '92.
One thing, you know, tell the people, those who don't know, how far are you guys from Beverly Hills?
Man, we 10 minutes. And what's crazy, look, this is what's crazy. This is what I told dudes and why I say educate. Oh, and shout out to the BYs, man. And I'll say this. They started in 91. That was my homie Captain and my homie Junior. And they started yes, to buy yourself. They was on the Pico side, but they also had the Vin Nav Hustler side. And that's why they didn't know that they was over there in the Palms. And my homie Eric Marshall, not Eric Marshall, excuse me, E-Money. That was another E-Money. Me and Lil Gangster Ed used to ride steel mopeds with Eric Marshall, and we was instrumental with the homie, rest in peace, Philly Blunt, that got killed at the park at that day. But that was a chapter called Ben Nav Hustlers, and they was over there as well behind Hamilton. So again, we was spreading our seeds, and again, like I said, Mel, 84, 85, 86 generation, my generation, that was around the time, like I said, all generations. From y'all, from Compton, Washington, South, everybody with that generation was where all that, you know, where it got real hectic. So we kind of took on a different instrument. And when we landed in YA, you had to have hands to get down, man. And them dudes was squabbling up just like us, bro. So yeah, very instrumental, man, that see that how these grains started early stages. And we had to put, and you know, that's still around. And so I tell guys, man, that history is important. Oh, this is what I want to say about the importance of education. Being from Los Angeles, our area code was we used to be 90210, and that's Beverly Hills. So we had access at all them schools over there. They wasn't sending us to Manual Arts, Dorsey. No, we going to Fairfax, Hamilton, Uni, Beverly Hills, Palisades, you know, so they giving us access to these schools. Right, same with the
because your zip code match up.
Absolutely. So once again, everybody didn't go read and study like Bentnose did. Everybody wasn't educated. It was times that I didn't have to worry about getting hit up. I go to school and get my mind away from the hood, but I got into other shit because other gangs start getting bused to these schools. And then they start running into us and we running into them. And then next thing you know, here I landed in YA at a valley school. So that let me know it wasn't some crazy stuff like that, man. But yeah, it gave us, and I land with this, man. Oh, go ahead.
What was the party scene for you guys when you guys used to throw parties? Like, if you throw a party on Corning, give me the inside look. What would that look like? Because now you got perspective. The graveyard showing up, the by yourself, the Marvins, everybody showing up to the party because the party's gonna be popping. What's that? Explain that scene to me.
Well, I didn't start partying with gang parties. I mean, until, like I said, the truce. That was like 94 when we started really partying with the truce. Yes, 94. Right after not right after the truce, because I got out the pen. And like I said, man, my big homie Bentnose, he gonna tell the story. He was Pablo Escobar at the time. So, and it was a truce, and so everything was popping for us. And that's when we was kind of like throwing gang truce parties and meeting up with those guys. But no, back in the days, like 85, 86, we was just throwing hood parties because my homie Lil Jess, he used to DJ, and Nico, they used to DJ, but we used to just go in the abandoned buildings, hook up the systems, and just kind of rock out like that, man. But now gang togethers, that came like after the truce with me, I would say.
Okay.
Right.
So was it difficulty going into Beverly? Because I know now when I go to Beverly Hills, they got that sign that say you are entering the drone zone.
Mel, let me say this. Let me say this, Mel. Back in the days, it's two places you don't want to get caught: Culver City and Beverly Hills. You stay up out of that place. We used to look. This is how much of a West LA guy I am. When we driving in Palms, when we see the signs, the street signs turning green, that means get away from there. You in Culver City. So we had to make sure we drive the back streets of Motor and Palms, and the street still is blue. When it's turning green, it's like in Lenox. You it's green. You in Lenox. So that was saying with Culver City and Beverly Hills. You don't want to give cost to the play. They blur for you, and they know that you from over here in this little area, man. So no, we didn't have no action with them departments. Heck no. West LA used to be terrible on us, bro.
This chick that used to go to Fairfax, her name, they used to call her Fly Jackie, man. She was okay, man. Yeah, she was out of y'all section too, man. But she used to be up at Marshall's.
Right, man. And you know what I say, man? Let me say this, man, because I tell dudes, man, what made, because one of my partners from Hoover, shout out to the Hoovers, I said, nah, man, it wasn't so much that we got into a jaw and it was beef like that. I said, man, the Hoovers was in our hood in 79, 78, and the grooves was tough. And I was raised up in the pen by the Hoovers, man. The Hoovers is tough. And so it takes somebody to test your hand and for order to see that you down. Because think about it in the academics. You go to school to study and you pass your test to get a good grade. So in the hood, it was the same way. I remember when dudes used to go in your pockets. Give me what's in your pocket, homie. Pocket check. And if you was a buster, you getting your money taken. So let's stop all this about, oh man, it's beef with. No, man, we got tested and we stayed down. And if it wasn't for the Hoovers in the 60s testing us, it wouldn't have made us who we are. So sometimes I tell dudes, win, lose, or draw. Long as you stay down and you down, that's all guys want to see. So what I tell them, so what happened? So what? We got tested. We supposed to get tested. You niggas around here dancing, test you niggas. Niggas see what you niggas tough. And that's when we got tested. And the homies had hands. Juan them had hands.
Yeah, y'all hood evolved from a dance crew.
Absolutely. Because again, now going back to those days, I was a kid, Mel, so I wasn't outside. My mom and them used to throw parties. My mom and them
that was the disco train, and they used to go to the showcase.
Right. And my mom and them used to go to the Carolina West, the Page 4. I said, man, my family we migrated from the South, homie.
Up there, because right next to the Page 4 was Blueberry Hill. There was Blueberry Hill, then Page 4, and then that's why I used to go swimming at El Rancho.
Right.
Right there by Dorothy and all that stuff. Yeah.
And we stayed in the jungles because I got family from the jungles. Shell Dog and my cousin, rest in peace. A
lot of people don't know that the jungles was Brims before they was Peastone.
Amen. Because when I stayed in the jungle, Sammy B Bones, rest in peace, and the homie Tombstone and Freddie from the jungles, man, we used to run with them, man. We stayed on Nicolette, and Sammy Bones used to throw up like, you know, Brim. Yeah, Sammy B Bones. And Ali Baba, Bash, Little Red Fat. We used to call Bash Fat Reggie because he was a bully. So like I said, man, my family, we jumped around, man. And because my mom, like I said, she had a lot of sisters, and they all jumped from Tennessee and Mississippi in the 60s. And we was the first generation of LA babies. So we got a big family, man. And that's why I tell people that why a lot of these stuff gets stopped, because we got family members from that. We could just call, hey. And that's why I say that having dialogue and communication is important.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's how a lot of this stuff gets stopped, Mel. And let me say this. Here's another pillar. Listen, let me say this, bro. This is why I tell dudes it's time to start giving props and props due. Because you're a pillar. You giving us a chance to tell our stories. Because think about it, Mel. It's easy to talk one-on-one. We ain't gonna get the in-depthness. We can talk one-on-one, me, you, and a few homies. Yeah. But when you get out here to an audience and putting it out to the algorithm, that's saying something else, bro.
Absolutely.
Then you gotta stand on business, brother. So that's why I don't get up in here with a Kit Kat shit show of lies, because you don't have to lie to kick it. And I think not at all. But saying that to say so when the homies was dancing, it was a party scene on this side. The west side was party. You know, everything was live over here because we straight up Los Cienega, where, like I said, Osco's, the Radiotron, all that was happening. We had Venice Beach when we used to go to Venice Beach arcades. So we had the accolades, but we also know that you better watch them schoolyards and them gears and them show lines, partner. So we also knew that we had to be on the swivel because the hood was getting into, was at bay with these guys. Now, with that being said, right? So saying that to say, we navigated it and learned from it, and I was just glad that in '92, when the truce happened, I was instrumental of keeping peace with the schoolyards, brother.
Man, that's great, man. Because here's the thing, man. We always saying rest in peace, but when we gonna say live in peace?
Absolutely, Mel Key. And it goes back to why I like to give props to these brothers that's still living. Because how lo and behold, if my homies die, and then I gotta speak on it. I want to talk about my pillars that's living in peace now, because we made it. That's why I spoke on Nose like I spoke, man. That's because they don't know how instrumental and how smart Nose was. And like I said, Nose don't give it to everybody. I got up under Nose and got so much game in '91 when I got out of YA. And once I got out the pen in '94, he gave me all I knew is I had his blessings. Him and my homie, they gave me all the work, and I just took off, bro, and made my own bones. But everything, like I said, every good story has a bad ending.
So walk me through your jail series. You went from county, or what did you go from YA to county jail, state prison? How did that work for you?
Well, in '88, I got into it with the Pacoima Power rules at school at Birmingham. I hit the teacher, knocked him out by accident. I had another case, open case, and Judge Dorn sent me to YA. So this was '88, and then YA, like I said, man,
which one was YA? What's the name?
Oh, I went to Paso. First I went to reception shit at SR. I went to Paso camp. And then I went to Ventura, and then I went to YTS, and I paroled.
Okay.
And then I got out in '91.
Okay, what was it like in YTS?
Oh, gang banging and fighting, man. We was fighting them dudes. Like I said, my dogs. Like I said, me and my homies, Lil Termite, Lil Sleep, and Creek from Marvin. We was kids. Lil Smiley and them came later. But we was kids up in there, man, fighting them dudes, man. Them dudes was tough, man. Screwy, Lil Snap, Bogart, them dudes wasn't no joke. Lil Bodine, salute to Lil Bodine. Lil Bodine from schoolyard, that's my dog, man. We went to elementary. S Dog, rest in peace, Sean Miller. Them dudes wasn't playing with me. Look, Mel, they was more mad at me for not being from schoolyard than me being from PBG. They used to be like, man, you supposed to be from schoolyard, you know it. And so that Lefty never get on me. So we get out and do our thing. But going up to YA, man, you know, and my cousin Boo Capone, you know, salute, man. That's Bo brother-in-law, man. Marlene, my cousin Bo, rest in peace. And so saying that to say, man, and that's what kept our family separated, because of, you know, we was from PBG and they from schoolyard, and my other cousin from 20. But saying that to say, why was
the rest in peace that had the what was the Unity one?
Yeah, that's family.
Okay.
And he was real instrumental, like I said, from when 92, man, we stopped that. And because my nephews and all them, Bouquet and all them, they from schoolyard, man. Those are my nephews, man, and family. So I'm just glad that I'm able to talk about it and get a lot of info, you know, get some good information out so these guys can learn that, man, a lot of this stuff, man, is by carnage of you know, of misinformation and misleading, uneducation, man. And we okay to talk about it. It wasn't nothing to glorify. We just talking about it.
Give me a consequential moment that changed your perspective as far as looking at people versus looking at people as human and black men versus looking at them as op. Is there anything that come to mind that changed your mind about that?
Yes, sir. When I was in the pen, Mel, let me say this. This was key. In 1992, I was in Solanos, and this is when the truce happened out here in LA. I remember Green Eyes from Bounty Hunter and Coco from Bounty Hunter. Because they was down by the end with the 415. That's where the Don Moves kicked it at. They walked up to the hill. We was at the top. Now I'm witnessing that. Like I said, I'm under Big Maverick from 11-8 and the homie Boogie from 7-4 Hoover. So I'm kind of like, you know, watching. I remember them coming up to us saying, hey man, you know, we out here trucing. We about to, you know, we throwing a big old spread. We want the Bloods and the Crips to all come. Now watch this. Now, before this, it was a real standoffish with the BGFs and the 415s, and they was real because, you know, they didn't really like Crips. I'm gonna just be honest. But let me say this, Mel. Me personally, I was a little bit more different because they liked it with my name, Playboy Gangster. They used to say, young Playboy. So the OG homies that was Crips, I'm gonna leave them anonymous. They used to be, man, why you talking to them dudes? Them dudes this, them dudes that, them dudes that. I'm like, man, they giving me game, man. So now let me say this, because this is key. So what happened was, because you asked me about when I started change, is when I saw how when that truce and when the Bloods and the Crips, we spread it on the yard, compliments of the, you know, the Domos folk, we all ate. The brothers that was under those regimes, they was walking up to it, welcome home, young brother, welcome home, welcome back. They was just talking to young Crips because it was forbade for us to talk to them. But see, by that time, I was smart enough not to get them. They didn't slide paper. That shit was all, that shit wasn't happening, all that. You get a note under your door. Man, that shit, that was for busters, man. Niggas knew what niggas was from, man. I was Baby Nose from Playboy Gangster. It wasn't no getting me up under no regiment. That don't work like that, bro. I don't know what all these hocus pocus stories, but I'm just speaking on my journey. I'm not talking about back in. Right, now hear me out. Right, so Mel, so my point I'm making is because Green from PJ Watts, Sugar Bear from 107, they had the yard, homie. Roscoe from Front Street. Them the homies that came and schooled me and said, hey, homie, these is the rules and regulations. Homie, I saw Gangster. So cats know. So you don't go up there trying to run your own. I was a YA baby. That's what the word being a YA baby, because I was still wild. I thought I could rush the schoolyards and still do all this dumb stuff that I was doing in YA. But back to that pillar moment, life changing. It was when we had that spread and we came together, and then I started getting conversations from old heads that was finally welcoming us to the culture, because Crips was frowned upon. Square biz. I saw Crips get, man, again, to name anonymous, man, the 415s, My boy Fatih, he know, and if Fatih listens, salute to the homie Fatih. He only took me in because he knew my homie Ira from Marvin. Ira must have caught a jewelry store case up there.
I think that's what you call him? I know who he is. Go ahead.
Yeah, but yeah. So my man liked it me. Now I was working in the kitchen. Watch this, man. Real talk. Just by me being cool, they passed me up, homie. They could have booked me because it was some shit with the homie. I ain't gonna name anonymous. The 415s took off on the homie, and homies got off back, and it was. But they got one of the homies by the building. They booked him. But when I came out the kitchen, Fatih and them looked by me, walked by me, homie, and I know why. But let other people tell it. But when they booked the homie came back. He was booked. I ain't gonna say his name. He was booked, and they, the coaches took off, and they rolled all the coaches up and put them in the hole. So that's when I first saw war with them dudes, but also saw that a lot of the Crips we just had a different. I don't know, man. The Bloods was smart, man. I land with that, but I just saw that once 92 happened in Solanos, those guys start really stepping to us and talking to us and educating us, and I kind of ran with that, Mel.
What were some of the books you read?
Man, I would say this: the first book that I did read that you're gonna get was the manuscript, George Jackson. You getting that off top, Soledad Brothers. You getting that off top, Blood in My Eyes, Malcolm. You getting off top. Now I would say this. In YA, we was in TS already studying up under the 5%ers. See, a lot of people think why the New York factions and cool, because we was studying up under the 5%ers because of my homie Roach. And this is real talk. Roach, my homie Baby Ghost from Play. Yeah, Roach had us in the Nation of Islam reading about Farrakhan and YTS. And while we was fighting fighting our adversaries, we was studying too. And plus, I was listening to a lot of the East Coast rap to where I was putting the science in my head early. And that was just my secret. I didn't have to go
mathematics and supreme alphabets.
Absolutely, brother. And once again, Mel, this is just my story. Has nothing to do with everybody else. Because
we keeping it right there, your story. Definitely.
Absolutely. Because what I tell dudes, why my smarts was a little bit ahead of people, because here's my homie Termite was my celly. My homie Lil Creep was my celly. My homie Big Wolfie was my celly. I was cellies with them. Them dudes know I was sharp. I used to wear, fighting enemies with black medallion things on. I was not the enemy. Let me correct language. Fighting the so-called dudes that were our adversaries. Because like I said, man, them dudes was tough, man. Devil there wasn't no joke, man. Shit. Them dudes was tough. And we can laugh about it, man. I love to see the talk and laugh with Top there. Them dudes, Bojangles there wasn't no joke. Shit. My little dog Bear from Gear, it's my dog, man. Bear came up to the pen and we was in 2002. Little Bear from Gear. That was my soldier, man. And Bear became real instrumental. Because he man, when dudes got love for you, they leave your peoples alone, and I land with that.
Yeah, they claim on West Adams, so the West Boulevards and
yes, sir.
And I think they're Hauser.
Yes, sir. But what I loved about it is when I was really pushing like Nose said, Nose will tell you. To claim West LA and to carve that little area, like I said, homie, our homies did that, and they gave us a little carbon for us to have our own. We didn't have to cross over Los Angeles. That's why we got fly. We get, shopping in Beverly Hills, going all up to the Beverly Hills, putting that fly crippin'. I get the 60s got their version of fly crippin', and everybody got their version, man. But y'all
was up close and up front, man. Y'all was right
absolutely there. Come on, man. We was wearing right there. We was wearing Sergio Tacchini, gold gazelles with diamonds. Homies had all that. Mike there was fly, bro.
And that BJ Feeler back then, that BJ Feeler Elise,
right. Man, so my homie Lil Insane, he used to wear the Sergio Tacchinis. So I got that sweatsuit game from him. with the snoozy on it. And, yeah, man. So yeah, we look. And Big Chew, let me just say this, man. Yeah, everybody, like I said, those guys was instrumental. I remember, look, Mel, and not the Harpers on gunplay, because again, I got shot when I was 16 in my hood. You know what I'm saying?
How many times? How many times?
I got hit in the hip. Yeah.
Once?
Yeah, once. And then I got shot twice again. I mean, and later on when I was paralyzed and I started walking again. That was in 2017.
Amazing.
Yeah. So you know that story. But my point I'm making is when I in 86 when I got shot that time, that's when my mind changed of becoming the menace, because it brought something out of me that I didn't like. Man, I ain't gonna lie, man. I love people. That's why I say that my nose knew a leader when he saw one, and I knew a leader when I saw one, and I was a follower. And like I tell dudes, man, this is how tough that I was, because I used to play chess. Now back to that of my pillar moment when I was in the pen. I used to play chess with up north dudes. I remember the BGF dude, well, the 415 homie used to say, man, take this girl off. We used to play without our queens. He'd be like, I'm gonna teach you how to not play with no emotions. Take that broad off the board, homie. See where your game at. So I've been every piece on that board except the queen. So I've been a pawn, I've been a knight, a rook, and so forth. So heavy is the head that wear the crown. And I think that my pillar of being a follower led me to the leader, because I tell people, how do you get to the leader? You got to be a follower. And so I follow great instructions and I listen. To be
a good leader, you got to be a good follower.
You got to, Mel. Because in essence, think about chess. What's on front line? The pawn. I was trained to go. And that's why I said to have that name, I knew it came with a lot of, because Bentnose, man, Bentnose gonna test you. Man, Big Ghost, rest in peace, them dude, Gremlin, I was under them dudes will test you, man. And you have to be tough. Yes.
A well-placed pawn can be more powerful than a king.
Come on, my man. Absolutely. So we talking strategic thinking. And that's how I say the spook that sat by the store, because I was a pawn. I was in the dope spot with Lil Insane, man. Look, he had a dog named Sheba. Nobody can't play with Sheba. Sheba will bite your ass, man. I used to touch Sheba because I was in, and they know good people. But saying that to say, being that little pillar of the pond, and like Lil Insane said, no, make him baby nose. You're gonna get all his little partners. Because my homie Shoot 'em Up, rest in peace. He was up out of Watts and Termite, and they was up off the out of the Hoovers. And then my homie Arthur, then my homie Lil Ed, he was from Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? So my homies Doc Rock and Lil and his brother Lil Doc, Ounce and Doc, they was from Patterson, New Jersey. Sleep was from Cincinnati. Lil Cisco was from Detroit. See, these dudes don't know how this shit gets started. So now I just named you guys that ain't even from here that had their own game, homie.
Right.
And dudes, right. Because again, we migrated. That was a great migration within itself to take over West LA. So a lot of my homies don't be knowing these stories while we be tough, man, because we had to be tough. Okay, watch this, Mel. In 1991, that was my first stint in the county jail by myself. And this is what I tell dudes, homie. This is around the time when, big dudes that's big and swole, they don't beat up on little dudes. Now you gonna get tested. Where you from, homie? Playboy Gangster, rolling 60. Playboy Gangster. All right, little nigga, you down? Niggas wasn't beating up little dudes, man. You was still being looked on as a little homie and getting taken care of. Now you gonna have your squabbles with dudes that was in YA, and we talking around the time when our neighborhood was at war with 4 major gangs. Lil Smiley, Droop, and all them. J-Bone from Marvin, them dudes was up in there on cases. And it was hellbound. Now, my point I'm making is to see these guys still to this day from both sides. I say that, man, we all won, man. We all number one. So that's why it's easy for me to walk away, because I have nothing to prove no more. What I got to prove to that, man? Look, man, I'm past gang politics. I do podcasts, wake up show, man. I teach therapeutics and healing and trauma, man. I'm past that. I can just talk about it because I lived it, because I lived through something traumatic, and that's why I give the
Dr. Phil got the wake up show from Gear Gang.
Yeah. And that's and my brother. Yes, and my brother be instrumental with that. They got the biker thing going on. My brother be instrumental with Dev with that, man. Absolutely. Absolutely. My brother, my blood brother worked with Dev on that.
But I gotta ask you one more question, man. Is the Booger Wolf Mansion still in operation?
Nah, that's over with, man. I think, man, once they gentrified that area, they got us up out of there, man. Nah, I think what it is.
Man, we got to go get the Booger Wolf Mansion back and fire it back up.
Nah, we ain't. Nah, it's over with, man. It's a lot of pretty Latino girls over there, man. But when I go through there and be doing like little stints and documentaries, I mean, not documentaries, but getting footage, they be looking like I'm foreign aid, man. But they don't know how that area was. And I tell them people, man, just like my Jewish friend, he lives on the corner, like there on the corner of Cadillac and Corny, man. Shout out to Louis Klein, man. That's my partner. Jewish man, and we laugh about it, man. That he don't even know how powerful this street, but we can kind of and not to put his business out. I'm not gonna give the estimate of his home, but they priced them homes over there in the millions now.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
Those homes are very big and large.
Right. And let me know when you're ready to lock the door.
Man, we're coming to an end now, man, but I appreciate it, man, that you came in and just dropped those jewels, man, and shared that information, because it's important that we continue the dialogue. How can we be better if we continue to hold in everything? If we don't discuss it, we don't put it out on the table for discussion and figure out how can we make it better. You know what I'm saying?
Amen. Let me lock the door on this one, Mel.
Go ahead.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown, and always remember, the midget that's standing on the giant's shoulders will always see further than the giant. So don't let these giants fall asleep and pass on while you've been that midget standing on them giant shoulders. Salute.
Salute, man. I appreciate you, man. Shout out to Baby Nose, man. He came in and dropped on us, man. Appreciate it. Into the Mailroom, man. Man, once again, man, shout out to all that Trey Pack, man, from the PBGs, the Marvins, to the Buy Yourself Hustlers, to all down to the Graveyards, and I'm leaving out. Who I'm leaving out? I'm leaving out something.
The Mansfields, the Blasting Fools, Bedrock Gangsters, man, all them cats, man. They getting it on.
West LA, man. Shout out to the whole West LA, man. Peace, man. We'll talk soon, bro.
Lock the door.
Lock the door. I think that was a very, very, very informative history. Baby Nose really came in and just gave us something. You know what I mean? And we can actually just like, okay, Baby Nose dropped that. Shout out to him, man. And shout out to all those cats, man, that I've been dialogue with it. And shout out to my guy, Puppy Low, a.k.a. Young Chalk. Man, he's actually behind the scenes helped me to reach all these different guys, okay? Without him, I wouldn't have been able to do it. You know what I mean? Although I think me and Baby Nose have always been building. Me and Baby Nose have always been building. So, but I got to read the Don Juans, the Jesse James, the Bentnose, and the Poker Lokes. Man, shout out to all them, man. Poker, now, yeah, but shout out to every last one of them. Once again, I am Professor Melly Mill, your hood postman. If you ring that bell, I'm going to bring that mail. With that being said, don't mind.
Kelly Miners, baby.
Don't mind me just watching, but go ahead and lock that door. Lock the door, Marlena.
Kelly Miners, baby. Proof of grind all the time. Music money. Got a dollar sign. Hub City.
I'm a street nigga, streets fuck with me. I'ma keep pushing products till the fans get me. It's guap off top, diamond Cartier. That nigga wall won't give a broke bitch the time of day. They see me climbing, they see me shining. That's hard work, proof of grinding. New money got me tipping in that 550. I lead bad man and I'm so pretty. I got that tech with me, that's my hater sprayer. Go big, grind now, nigga, play later. What can I say? I'm addicted to this paper stacking. And I don't talk about it, I just make it happen.
door, because we are gone.